What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Roliver Queen, and you know what this means. Heat of the week is back. Cue the intro. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications. And let's not waste any more time, and let's get to these comics. First up is Teen Titans Annual 2. It's written by Robbie Thompson, and the art is done by Eduardo Pansiska. This issue was heat, man. This was heat. It's explosive. You know, Batman's back in the picture. He finally figures out what Damian's been up to. The Teen Titans are scared of Damian. Deathstroke is back in the picture. And just Damian is done. Damian is done. I know there's a bunch of controversy. Well, not controversy, but backlash with what's been happening with Damian. But if you've been following what's been happening in Batman and Nightwing, dude, everything makes sense here. Everything makes sense. As for the art, oh my goodness. Listen, Pansiska does his thing. I'm gonna just, spoil, this 2-page spread, but look at this, man. This is awesome. This is beautiful. He goes all out. And that's not to knock Javier Fernandez, because I love his work as well. But man, Pansiska definitely delivered. Again, please go pick this up. Again, I think there's only 2 more issues left, so I'm gonna see where Damian ends up. I think he's gonna pop up in Detective Comics soon, and I think the previous Titans are gonna end up in one or the second issue after this. So again, man, yeah, definitely one of my favorites this week. Teen Titans Annual 2. Next up is Mighty Morphin issue 53. It's written by Ryan Parrott. The art is done by Moise Hidalgo. I apologize. Is it Moses? Kind of has a little asterisk there. Again, if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. And the colors is done by Walter Biamonte. This was another great issue. Heat. First and foremost, we get a little teaser on who could be the new Ranger. I personally think that Ryan Parrott is playing with us. When you see who it could potentially be, I'm sorry, I cannot speak. You may be a little upset, and I can definitely understand that. But again, I think Parrott is just trolling us, and whatever we may think after reading this issue, it's not going to come to fruition. It's going to be a curveball. I have my ideas on who it could be, but again, we will see. Other than that, this issue is just the Dark Rangers and the Mighty Morphin Rangers just duking it out in the city, and I love it. Here, honestly, this issue is where, Moses, again, I apologize. This is where he's just showing, his artistic, creativity, man, and I love it. Like, he definitely understands these characters. He definitely understands that, Danielle Dinacula, I apologize. He left some big shoes to fill. And man, he's just picking up the slack, and he's just adding his own flavor to it, and I love it, man. Like, the art, it has the 90s feel to it with a little modern taste to it, but I like it. Like, I don't know, just the way it's drawn, it literally feels like, I'm kind of watching like the old VHS of the Power Rangers series, man. I love it, and I hope he's here for the long run, because this right here, I'm rocking with it art wise. But again, pretty crazy issue. Just pretty much just straight up fighting, but I enjoyed it a lot. The art was really the highlight here. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing what Parrott is gonna do. I hope these Dark Rangers are here, a little longer than the previous Dark Rangers. And again, what is gonna happen with this new Ranger? Mighty Morphin 53, y'all. Next up is Batgirl 48. It's written by Cecile Castellucci, and the art is done by Robbie Rodriguez. This one was mid, and also it's kind of weird too. I'm kind of having a hard time figuring out where in the Joker War timeline does this, at least these last 2 issues, fit in. Because I just saw her running around in Nightwing, but here, she got the chip taken out, but put back in. And also, here in Gotham, in Batgirl's Gotham, things seem too normal. Things are way too normal. Like, at least in, Nightwing, you can see things are going to shit. In Red Hood and the Outlaws, you can see things going to shit as well. And obviously in Batman, things are just gone to shit. But Batgirl, things just kind of just seems like it's regular Gotham. Commissioner Gordon is back, but he's off to the side, which is kind of weird, because you would think, Gotham is in shambles. The Joker's running amok. You would think he'd be one of the first people to be on the front lines. It doesn't matter that, the whole thing happened with the Batman Who Laughs. Like, you'd figure, just like Batman, Gotham is Commissioner Gordon's baby. He's going to do whatever he can to help out. But again, things just seem normal here, and it's weird. It's really weird. But on the upside, Luke is back. Luke Fox is back. We should know by now. Well, you guys should know by now. He's going to be taking over as Batman, at least for a 5-part miniseries written by John Ridley. So again, it's cool to see him back. Now, will this tie into what's happening with Batman? Because he should be playing a major role. Who knows? But again, it's good to see that they're kind of leaving us little breadcrumbs or something, just to see where he might end up, leading to his eventual, takeover of Batman. But other than that, I do appreciate the art, man. I do like Robbie Rodriguez's art. It definitely makes me wish that I was following this title, more closely. But now that it's ending in like 2 issues, I'll definitely consider checking it out, man. But yeah, because one of my favorite aspects about the last issue again was the art, and he just continues with that here, man. So yeah, I don't know. Weird issue. We'll see what happens. Batgirl 48. Next up is Red Hood Outlaw 48. It's written by Scott Lobdell, and the art is done by Brett Booth. This was another great issue. Honestly, another one of my favorites this week. So it's definitely heat. This is just Red Hood's introduction into the Joker War. And honestly, this works more like a one-shot than an actual tie-in. I mean, obviously there's, a continuation of a Red Hood story. But again, this is mainly just centered around Joker War. Like, we're seeing how, Jason feels about being back in Gotham. He obviously has to tone down, his fighting methods, to abide by Bruce's rules, we see him interact with Punchline. And also, he fights Nightwing, but he doesn't know it's Nightwing. And what's also great about this, too, is that this flows directly into the latest issue of Nightwing, which came out like 2 weeks ago, which was Nightwing 73. Because when I was reading Nightwing 73, I was just like, yo, why is Red Hood here and his mask is just all fucked up? This perfectly explains it. So again, I like the synergy. Again, pretty solid, pretty standard. It's just kind of shoot 'em up, bang bang, and I'm guessing Joker and Punchline are gonna play a role into what happens, moving along in the Red Hood storyline. But I don't know how it's gonna work out because there's only like 2 issues left in Lobdell's run. But anyways, yeah, this was a solid issue. As for the art's kind of hit or miss for me. Not a big fan of Brett Booth's art. I'm familiar with it, but not really my favorite. I think, the character's a little too muscular for me. I think the art's a little bit too vibrant, especially for a Red Hood title. But again, nothing too crazy. The story really carries it. So yeah, Red Hood Outlaw 48. Next up is Detective Comics 1026. It's written by Peter Tomasi and Kenneth Rocafort. This was mid. Just like Batgirl, I have no idea where in the Joker War timeline this takes place in, and it just feels very removed. I mean, it's just like, you can treat this like a one-shot. It's pretty much how Killer Croc is affected by what's happening by Joker War. And, Batman goes in, does what he does, and all is good and merry at the end. But Rocafort's art is pretty awesome. I did read the last Detective Comics issue, and yeah, his Batgirl is amazing. His Batman is dope. And dude, even his Killer Croc is pretty good as well. Again, I'm not following Detective Comics, but I'm just collecting everything in trade. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna revisit this and whatever Peter Tomasi's been doing with that as well. But again, pretty okay issue. And I think maybe there's like one more Detective Comics issue after. No, actually no. There's no more Detective Comics with Joker War involved. So I think this is pretty much it for me in terms of Detective Comics right now. But yeah, solid issue. Art was pretty cool. But yeah, Detective Comics. Next up is Batman Superman 11. It's written by Joshua Williamson, and the art is done by Clayton Henry. And this was mid, man. This was mid. I mean, Henry does this thing on the art. Like, I'll definitely give him praise there. Like look at this. Like, his Batman and Superman, is crisp, bro. Like, and I'm familiar with his work on other titles, especially Black Lightning, Cold Dead Hands. But in terms of story, like, I just really have a hard time giving a crap what's happening here. Like, and honestly, this book just feels like we're just, I don't know, dealing with the aftermath of everything that's happening in both Batman and Superman's books. Like, this takes place before Joker War, and then this also deals with the aftermath of Superman revealing his identity. But again, I don't care. It's this book really. There's nothing here holding me to want to pick this up monthly. I think it'll probably just read better in trade. But again, this is not a knock to Joshua Williamson because I do enjoy his writing. I'm looking forward to his Justice League run, and I do heavily enjoy his Flashh run, which I'm gonna get to in this video. But yeah, man, just so far, it's just not doing it for me. But I will say one thing. I will say one thing. I do enjoy that this ties into Teen Titans. You know, it ties literally directly into Teen Titans Annual 2. Because yeah, there's a little mention of that, and as we know, Batman is gonna cross paths with Damian as well. But yeah, that's honestly my biggest tie here is that it flows into Teen Titans Annual 2, but just in general, mid. It's not trash, but mid. So yeah, Batman, Superman. Next up, we got X-Men 11. It's written by Jonathan Hickman, and the art is done by Leinil Francis Yu. And yo, this was heat, man. This was heat. This is another Empire tie-in. And listen, I'm not reading Empire. I don't give a crap about Empire, but these X-Men tie-ins, especially the actual X-Men Empire miniseries, is really good. Hickman is just having fun, and you can tell this dude is just biding his time until we could get to X of Swords. So again, he's just doing his thing here, man. Honestly, this is a Magneto focus issue, and it's just showing how Magneto takes charge with this whole invasion that's happening. I don't even know what the name of these creatures are that's been invaded the Marvel Universe, and I don't care. But again, this is just Magneto, you know, just showing how much of a boss he is, how well he can lead the X-Men in regards to this invasion. And you know, Francis Yu just does his thing, man. His art is easily one of my favorite aspects about X-Men. But yeah, man, this is fun. You know, Magneto just doing his thing. I don't think we've had a Magneto focus a Magneto focus issue yet. So this was definitely the issue to do that in. Again, Hickman is just having fun. Francis is just doing his thing on the art. I don't really have much to say here. Well done issue. Heat, heat, heat. Let's get to Ten of Swords, please. Enough with this Empire crap. Next up is Daredevil Annual 1. It's written by Chip Zdarsky, and the art is done by Manuel Garcia. Oh man, this was heat. This was heat. Apparently, you know, Matt's history has been retconned, so he has a twin brother now. And this twin brother has been, you know, faking as if he's Matt, and just been pulling off various scams. We get to delve into the history about, you know, how Matt and his brother grew up. I apologize, I'm really flaking on the name. But yeah, we get to see how the two grew up, and we get a glimpse of what's going to be happening moving forward. So if you think this is just going to be, you know, a random occurrence, you know, because these annuals tend, you know, to just be random stories. No, this will definitely play a role into the overall Daredevil story that Zdarsky is doing right now. So I'm excited for it. But yeah, the art is the art's solid. I mean, there's not too much action going on here. But again, the art's solid. Again, I'm just so used to Chichetto's art that when somebody else comes in, it's kind of hard for me to get used to. But again, I do enjoy it. It definitely flows into the whole, you know, gritty feel of Daredevil. So again, it works. You know, not to knock Garcia. So I really do appreciate the art. But yeah, again, pretty great issue. Pretty great issue. I don't know how soon this annual is going to play into Zdarsky's run, but I'm looking forward to it. So again, Daredevil Annual 1, Chip Zdarsky, yeah, he. Next up, we got Flashh 760. It's written by Joshua Williamson, and the art is done by Christian Deuce and Scott Collins. And yeah, this issue was heat, man. I enjoyed it. It was fun. As we know, Joshua Williamson's run on the Flash is ending, and this was just another great lead up to that. So mainly here, we're just dealing with Barry trying to get his body back because, as you know, Thawne took over his body. And the artists like really did take advantage of the story here because I mean, look at this. Like these 2 pages is awesome. Like I'm really not a huge fan of Scott Collins' art, but it works here. You know, that style and in contrast to Christian Duce's art just works so well, and it helps tell 2 different stories, but also the same story at the same time, if that makes sense. It's also great to see the Flash family, you know, finally reunited after all this time, and we also get to see Reverse Flash rally up the Legion of Zoom. So if you think the crew that he had was it, nah, dude, there's definitely more. So again, all this was just Barry getting his body back, them rallying up the troops, and finally, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we're going to see both of these teams come head to head in what should be a great finale. I'm really looking forward to Speed Metal. It sucks that Wally's not here, but again, we'll deal with that, you know, when Speed Metal comes around. But yeah, man, Flash 760, great issue, heat. Last but not least, we got 3 Jokers. It's written by Geoff Johns, and the art is done by Jason Fabok, and the colors by Brad Anderson. Y'all, we've been waiting forever. It's finally here. That thing was supposed to come out like 2-3 years ago, and yeah, man, it's finally here. Normally, I let the Black issue stuff just stack. I normally wait for issue 2, 3, or 4, whatever, and then I read it in one go. But man, this was so highly anticipated that, dude, I had to read it when it came out. And man, it didn't disappoint. It did not disappoint at all. We're mainly focused here on Batman, Red Hood, and Batgirl, and the 3 Jokers. So what is the mystery surrounding the 3 Jokers? Are there 3 Jokers? And obviously there is. And what I really enjoy here is that this issue really takes the time to highlight the trauma that, you know, Batman, Batgirl, and Red Hood have with the individual Jokers. So you see the scenes from, you know, the Killing Joke when Joker shot up Barbara Gordon. You see the scenes when, you know, Jason Todd was getting his head bashed in by the Joker, and I think they just pulled a random scene from how many fucking times Batman has, you know, dealt with the Joker. But yeah, it really gets going from start to end, and the end of this issue, listen, I don't even know why I'm surprised because it's a Black Label title, but it's gonna hit. I'll tell you that right now, man. From start to finish, you're going to feel the tension, and then at the end of the issue, you're going to be like, holy shit, they went there. As for the art, yo, Jason Fabok, I have nothing but praise for Jason Fabok, all right? I'm currently reading Geoff Johns' Justice League run, and Jason Fabok was doing art on there, and as you can see, like, he hasn't let up. Like, his art has gotten better. Like, you know, he hasn't missed a step. Like, look at this, man. Look at this shit, bro. Nice, crisp, beautiful, immaculate, sexy. But yeah, listen, I could go on and on and on, but this was a great first issue. Now, the only con I have is that I don't know if this is in continuity or not, because this is supposed to play on, you know, the idea that was at the end of Johns' Justice League run on, you know, there being 3 Jokers. But because this is a Black Label title, and, you know, because of everything else that's happening in the DC universe, I don't know if this is in the continuity or not. I think either was Fabok or Johns that said it could be, it could not be. So I don't know. Did DC, you know, bullshit us in terms of, you know, the 3 Jokers being a thing? Or do we just have one Joker in the main continuity, and this is just 3 eras of the Joker here that are just running amok? You know, so that's my only con. But other than that, like, if you're not focused on the continuity aspect, it's looking like it's gonna be a great story. But other than that, man, that's pretty much it. Like, I'm so excited that's finally here. I hope there's no more delays. 3 Jokers. And that is it for Heat of the Week, y'all. I apologize. I know it's a little late. You know, New Comic Book Day is tomorrow, but Despite everything that was happening in my life, I had to get this video out. Again, this should be a weekly occurrence. So yeah, look out for this week's heat of the week. But yeah, man, much love, much peace. Don't worry, guys. Streams are coming back. I know you guys are waiting on that, and I can't wait to get back on doing those. I do miss you guys very much. Again, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe button. Much love, much peace. Roliver Queen out, and please wash your hands or wash your ass. Please be safe.